FIDE has published the laws of chess for 2023, and there are a few important updates to tournament play rules. In this video, in the first part, I'm going to show you the different changes in laws in tournament play. And in the second part, I'm going to highlight all the important rules for chess tournaments in general. So this is the document, the FIDE handbook, and in each section, you will see the FIDE laws of chess. So let us go to the main part. There are like three changes, important changes in tournament play, which every player must understand. Let me take you to section article 4.6. The first three articles are just about how the pieces move, and article 4 is about moving the pieces. So if you go to 4.6, till now, if you promote a pawn without pushing that pawn to that square, it used to be illegal. And there have been several incidents as well in tournaments, even at the top level. But from now on, the act of promotion may be performed in various ways. The pawn does not have to be placed on the square of arrival. Removing the pawn and putting the new piece on the square of promotion may occur in any order. If an opponent's piece stands on the square of promotion, it must be captured. So you don't have to push the pawn forward and then put the new piece on the board. You can just put the pawn out of the board and then put the new piece and then press the clock. So that problem is solved. You can just promote in the easy manner. That's the first update. Now, if you come here to 4.2, only the player having the move may adjust one or more pieces. So if your clock is not running, if it's your opponent's turn and you adjust the piece, then you will be given a warning and the arbiter may penalize you if it occurs again. So it's also mentioned in Article 6.2 over here. Only the player whose clock is running is allowed to adjust the pieces. That is the second change. And the third change, which is very important for arbiters and for players, is in A.3. So there are 12 articles, and then there is the appendix. In Appendix A3, the penalties mentioned in Articles 7 and 9 of the competitive rules of play shall be 1 minute instead of 2 minutes. So let me take you to 7.5 first. That shows the penalty in case of an illegal move. If you see here, after the action taken under article for the first completed illegal move by a player, the arbiter shall give 2 extra minutes extra time to his or her opponent. For the second completed illegal move by the same player, the arbiter shall declare the game lost by this player. So first illegal, you get 2 minutes. If your opponent makes an illegal, you get 2 minutes. And then second illegal by the opponent, he loses. He or she loses. That is for classical chess. But for rapid and blitz, instead of 2 minutes, it will be 1 minute instead of 2 minutes. If for the first illegal, 1 minute will be added. And then second illegal is loss. The same applies for blitz as well. So these are the three main changes in competitive play. Now, let me show you a few important details in tournament play. So those who are playing chess tournaments or playing for the first time, you have to be very careful about, you have to read this properly and understand the rules. The main thing is about illegal moves. This is the first thing you have to understand. So if you make a move that is not allowed in chess, that's of course illegal. And we just saw first illegal, 2 minutes, and then second illegal loss. That's fine. Now there are a few other ways an illegal can happen. So for example, if the player has moved a pawn to the furthest rank, pressed the clock, but did not replace the pawn with a new piece, then the move is illegal. So in that case, the pawn will be replaced by a queen of the same color. That's one way an illegal can happen, apart from the regular way. Second, if the player presses the clock without making a move, it shall be considered as an illegal move. Third, if a player uses two hands to make a single move, for example, in castling, capturing, or promotion, and press the clock, it shall be considered illegal move. So these are the ways in which an illegal can happen. Another important thing is if a player displaces one or more pieces, he or she shall re-establish the correct position in his or her own time. So if you displace a piece before pressing the clock, you have to keep it properly. This becomes a problem in blitz because people play very fast. And recently it had become an issue in the game between Hari and Nepo. A very important thing to understand is when to offer draws or how to offer draws. So, if you see here, the game is drawn upon a correct claim by a player having the move, and the same position for at least a third time is about to appear, has just appeared, and the player claiming the draw has the move. So, basically, before you make the third repetition, before the move happens, before it is about to appear, and if it is your turn, you have to indicate your move by writing it on the paper score sheet or by entering on the electronic score sheet or declaring to the arbiter to make that move. So if you're about to make a third repetition and you want to claim a draw, you should do that before making the third move. You should pause the clock, call the arbiter, write the move you're about to play, and tell him that this is the move I'm going to play. It will be third repetition. Then it will be taken as a claim. That's one thing, the three-time repetition. Also, for the 50 move rule, the game is drawn upon a correct claim by a player having the move. Again, before the 50th move happens, or even after it happens, it has to be your move. Before you make the next move, you have to claim the 50 move rule. Again, by writing on the score sheet and declaring to the arbiter to make the move, which will result in the last 50 moves having been made without movement of any pawn or any capture. So when you claim a draw, you can pause the clock. And one very important thing is you cannot withdraw the claim. Once you make a draw claim, you can't withdraw the claim. That applies for draw offers as well. A player wishing to offer a draw shall do so after having made a move on the chessboard, and before pressing the clock, you can make the draw offer. An offer at any other time during play is still valid. So you can offer draw any time, but this is the best way to offer a draw. Before pressing the clock, after making the move, you can offer the draw. So no conditions can be attached to the offer. In both cases, the offer cannot be withdrawn and remains valid until the opponent accepts it, rejects it orally, rejects it by touching a piece with the intention of moving or capturing it, or the game is concluded in some other way. So once you offer a draw, the draw offer stands, and it's up to the opponent to decline it or accept it. You cannot withdraw the offer. A few small things to understand is if during a game it is found that the initial position was incorrect, game will be cancelled, new game shall be played. If the initial position is wrong. If if the setup of the chessboard is placed contrary to the actual setup, the game shall continue, but the position reached must be transferred to a correctly placed chessboard. So if the coordinates are placed wrong, the game will continue, and then once you realize that, the arbiter will intervene, and then he will change the chessboard's coordinates to the right setup. If the game started with reverse colors, if less than 10 moves have been made, it shall be discontinued and a new game shall be played. After 10 moves or more, the game shall continue. During a chess tournament, you are not allowed to use any notes, source of information, etc. And you're also not allowed to have any electronic device in the playing venue, not just in person or uh, switched on. Your phone or any electronic device should not be in the venue itself. However, the regulations of an event may allow such devices to be stored in a player's back, provided the device is completely switched off. So that is up to the organizer and the arbiter. So this should be allowed by the arbiter, only then it can be done. You can keep it in a separate bag in switched off mode, whatever electronic device is there. If it is evident that a player has such a device on their person in the playing venue, the player shall lose the game. Your phone does not have to ring. If you have a phone on your person in your pocket or anywhere, you will lose the game. So arbiter can check your bags, clothes, etc. in private. It's allowed. Players who finish their game shall be considered as spectators. So you have to leave the hall once your game is over. You won't be allowed to stay. So these are the major rules in tournament play and the small changes that have come in tournament play from this year.